Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, totally have a bedhead. We'll just leave that alone. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who are here without any Pisces in anything and we are resonating. You're probably an empath. You're probably ready to take your spiritual journey to the next level. So join me. All right. Pisces and empaths. This reading, I'm sure, is going to be an intense one. And I say this because I kept getting this message of like, quiet all the chaos, just like really silence it and listen to your heart. I'm gonna cry. What the fudge? I don't know. The feeling just got really intense and I feel myself wanting to cry. That's hella dramatic. Okay. Let more of the Capricorn out. Capricorn is my moon and it keeps me balanced. um no, things just got really intense with energy and feeling. I really don't know where this is coming from because I woke up feeling fabulous. No joke. I woke up feeling fabulous and suddenly it's like I don't know if maybe someone joined the live and they're having like intense, I don't know. It's a very intense feeling. I don't know. Like it's really intense. It's getting more intense. It does not feel like some sort of parasitic attack. It feels like really intense emotion. Like I don't know, sadness or some shit. All right. So here's the thing, okay? At this point, I'm like super duper bonded with Bish. Bish, Bish, does is this like a general Piscean feeling? No. Okay, Bish, does this have to do with collective energy feeling? No. Bish, is this directed at me personally? Go back to sleep, Bish. Okay. Whoever I made sad, I'm very sorry that I made you sad. I don't know what it's about. I'm sorry. I really am. All right, let's just keep pulling the cards. All right. So you have to quiet the chaos and just listen to your heart. Okay, your heart is telling you something. I'm not quite sure what that is, what that message is. That's a lot of cards, though. Okay, we'll just take all that. I'm so alone. That song keeps playing in my head for days now. Do 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 do. It keeps alternating between a sense of like sadness and then a sense of like, I don't know, like I almost want to say like anticipation, like someone or something is like they're nervous to making me nervous. They're nervous to, I don't know, it has something to do with the Pisces. They're nervous. I don't know. I don't know. I'm really not as mean as I sometimes seem. You guys have to remember, I'm talking to a little black dot on my laptop. Um, yeah, like I don't respond to people like this in real life. I'm just like, mm-hmm, oh, okay. That's how I am in real life. Okay. Well, I'm like this in real life too, but only with very, very select few. My husband would my husband was telling me the other day, he's cracking up. He's like, I think I was talking shit to him in the car. He goes, you're exactly the same on live streams as you are in person. I was like, no, I'm not. He goes, well, to me, you are. I said, okay, that's a very important distinction, okay? Not to everyone else. He's like, well, yeah. If you know them, and you like them, then yeah, you're like that. You're just like you are in live streams. But if I don't know you, probably going to catch a whole lot of muteness from me. Because that's just how I be. That's just how I be, unless I'm working, at which point you're going to see the work me. All right, let's get started. Here goes. We're going to start with the moon deck because Mars. Okay, Mars. Mars came up. Mars is my home planet, or so I'm told. Don't know what that means, but I assume it has to do with like combativeness. All right. Okay. Yeah. Just let me just. Hold up. All right. And nobody needs to be seeing the top half. So, card number 5, Mars, force. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. This card suggests there's something you may have to fight for. So I don't know if it's you fighting for something or if it's like, I don't, the sad person. There's a sad person involved in this equation. Mars is the ruler of sexuality and aggression. It's a lustful planet that drives us, allows us to face the difficult challenges in life and to follow our passions no matter what stands in the way. If we did not have Mars, we could not know how to fight. Ooh, that's some intense ass words. This card also means to push back in terms of defense. You may either face aggressive situations with a need to confront or defend, or an intense, rousing sexual encounter, which may or may not involve romance. Mars indicates overwhelming attractions. Okay, Pisces, what the fuck's actually going on here? Okay, this is like a really weird ass feeling popping up. It's an assumption on my end that this is like I'm feeling some sort of energy of someone who just really, well, I look extra thrashed right now. Someone who just really cannot stay away. They can't keep away from you. I don't know if they've actually reached out to you, but they can't stay away. And they really, really, I don't know. The feeling is that this is someone you've known in the past. You guys have had interaction in the past. Because, I mean, why else would they be this, like, I don't know if I should. Like, bruh, Pisces is never going to know unless you actually say something. That's the thing with Pisces. We can be so super duper beyond intuitive, but the moment it it starts tapping into like attraction, I mean, we know who we're attracted to, but we don't know if you're attracted to us. Like, we're so used to people throwing themselves on us. Like, Pisces, how many of you can relate to this? Like, you are so used to people throwing themselves on you that when someone is actually interested in you, you don't really know. You don't know where you stand with that. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like that's a Piscean thing. Like, um, Use me as an example. Unless you're actively pursuing me, I don't know. You might just flirt with everybody. That's my thought. Like, oh, you just a flirty one. Oh, you just a flirty one. Oh, yeah, no, you probably think I'm flirty. Everybody thinks I'm flirty. Everyone thinks like if I'm being cordial, I'm flirting with you. So now I'm all confused. I don't know how to read social cues. It's the truth though. I don't know how to read social cues. If you tell me you like me, well, everybody tell me they like me. I don't know. Do they really like me? I don't, maybe they're just being nice to me. That's just how my brain works. Like you have to profess love to me, full on profess love. And even then I'm like, quit playing. You do that with everybody. I'm not joking. I'm so not joking. Like, even with my husband, when we first started dating for the first however many months, I was just like, "Oh, you want to marry everybody. Stop. I know all these little chickadees be chasing you around. I'm not in town. That's perfectly fine. Go do your thing. We just friends." Yeah, no, seriously. And this man was like, "No, I really like love you." Mhm. Mhm. You just love. No joke. I'm so serious. That's how Pisceans work. I know I'm not the only one. Mhm. I'm just saying. So action is needed. Like right now, action is needed. It's not a good time to sit back and wait. When this card presents itself, you're being challenged to protect your interests or to move ahead quickly on something. Is this like instruction for Pisces or is this instruction for whoever's pursuing Pisces? Because here's the flip side of things. I'm not attracted to everybody. um and you just really never know if I'm attracted to you or not because I just I mean, yo, I'm friendly with furniture. People think when I'm friendly, I'm flirting. Well, in that case, I flirt with furniture. I flirt with the trees. I flirt with the plants. I flirt with rocks, the sky. I mean, you really don't know what you're getting with Pisces. Look at my cup of. Oh, you looking good today? Look at you. Let me taste some of you. No joke. We do this with everything. And I mean, unless there's something else in the chart that is the root cause of this, like everything, I could just be joking. And for some reason, everyone takes everything I say sexual. Like, I have this bag of nuts, and I could just totally be like, I like nuts in my mouth. I'm talking about food, and y'all are like, oh shit, she likes nuts in her mouth. Like, no, 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 no. Whoa, where are you going with this? That's how the conversations go. It's a total Piscean thing. I'm not joking. Like, I thought it was punishment to tell someone I'm gonna sit on your face, like smother you. I didn't say naked. And then my husband says, you can't say that to strangers. I was like, why? I'm threatening them. I'm like trying to argue. And he goes, no, honey, that's sexual. Maybe for you, but not for me. I mean, I don't have a juicy booty. That's all bone. That's not going to feel good. That's my logic. But a lot of people don't have the same logic as Pisceans. I'm realizing that. So, fire has been lit under the passions, and it's time to achieve what you want in life. Okay. This is instruction for someone else. This does not feel like Pisces anything. Y'all, soul is giving instruction to whoever is like, following you and stuff. It can also indicate a formidable competitor has just arrived on the scene. Okay. Okay. This other issues to do with this card include the law, the military, sport, and games. Challenges of all kinds, becoming more physically active and involved, fiery tempers, and actual fires. The corresponding tarot card is the Emperor card, battles, adversaries, competition, sports events, rushing, and defense. I feel like I got to put my hood on. Like, no, I'm done playing. I'm done joking around. I'm done playing. I'm not liking how that card feels. Like, I'm usually very docile until I feel like you're challenging my timidness, at which point I'll bite you. Card number 25, first house, the body. I am not the perishable body, but the eternal self. Move ahead with confidence. You are rising. I really feel like someone is cross watching Pisces right now and they're being given instruction and encouragement. If you are one of my stalkers and you think I'm encouraging you, you are in for a wonderful surprise. No joke. No joke. Just saying. So, the first house is the mask that everyone else first sees. Although the first house is a house of self, it's also the persona you project. It's how you relate to the world first. So I think for Pisceans, you might be low key Marsing it up. You might be low key Marsing it up. Um, I wonder if right now is a time when Pisceans are allowing their other um, options or other like personalities to come forward to kind of like quiet down that like really, I heard seductive Piscean side. You have stalkers, of course. I'm Pisces. I've had stalkers since I was a child. I'm Pisces. That's, you know through and through. Pisces problems. um so when this card comes up, it means you'll soon be feeling your own strength. Although it may feel natural to just take over and assert your power, you may need to pull back some. So I'm wondering if that's kind of what's going on. Pisces keeps pulling back, so this person keeps pulling forward. And I mean, just like a little bit of advice from, a really marinated Pisces. I'm so marinated in that Piscean energy. When Pisces keeps pulling back and you keep charging forward, um, just know we're probably getting ready to bulldoze right through you. Pisces has been shoehorned as this really passive, easy to dominate, easy to, just all kind of easy shit. We just let you think we're easy. You can ask any Pisces. We're just too nice to hurt your feelings and be honest. And it's creating so much confusion. So much confusion. And um, if need be, you know, if need be, you're probably going to get bulldozed. And by the time we bulldoze you as Pisceans, we really don't care about your feelings. We don't. We don't care about your feelings. We're just trying to get you out of the way. You no longer exist to us. You no longer exist. Like someone once asked me, they mentioned my ex-boyfriend's name. Who's that? That was the knee-jerk reaction. Who's that? And they're like, girl. I'm so serious. What? Who is that? Did you meet someone new? And they're like, you guys were just dating like a month ago. Oh, I was? No, I was single a month ago. I was single a month ago. What are you talking about? Who's that? Um, all right. So let's see. It's important that you don't abandon your goals now out of boredom. Who is this message for? Pisces always abandons goals out of boredom. Like if you can't keep a Piscean fully engaged and they get bored, they're out. I think this is okay. I just made myself really hot. I made myself really, really hot. What is I think they're giving instruction again to your freaking stalker. Now I'm being told it's not a stalker for everyone. For some of you, this is a connection that you're probably on some level welcoming. Um, I don't like saying that because then it gives the people who have like a distorted view of reality some sort of weird ass, like, oh, they're really welcoming me. I don't think I am. I guess you find out when you try and connect. I don't think I'm welcoming anything. So this might be for you guys. The first house card also speaks of beginnings and starting anew. It implies it's time to honor your gift of being distinct. It also suggests a position of leadership. Um this corresponds to the Fool card. It's about appearance, the subject of your question, the way you come across. Oh, okay. So they think if you're being followed 58% at 835, 5888. If you think that you've been clear, you could have conflicts with certain authority figures and thus need to go to some extra measures to keep a cool head in any given situation. This card marks a period of being tested or challenged and indicates who you are and who you will become. Whatever is implied in the surrounding cards will indicate what must soon be faced and met. Okay, so need to defend yourself. I'm wondering if this is more like, I'm wondering if for most of us, this is more like a stalker type energy, someone who's disrespectful of your boundaries, in which case I will be very mean. Okay. So it's this sense that I'm being given right now that there needs to be a clear distinction between a toxic connection and one that's a truly soul based, higher level connectivity. A toxic connection, I guess the easiest way for me to distinguish between the two. A toxic connections, I don't want anything to do with you ever, 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 ever. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. I have no problem being mean to you at this point. Like, and when Pisces is mean, we're not like, oh, you're ugly. No, we're like, you got a small ass pecker and it's diseased, and I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm gonna tell all the other women. I mean, you're probably not going to, but like, just really go for the throat or the pecker. Just really, really savage ass cutting words. And if that's something that you like want to do, like you feel like this is something you're gonna do, it's probably a toxic connection. That's probably toxic as fuck. Now, there are those who we have connections with, and like, yeah, it irritates us, but at the same time, like, I couldn't actually be mean to you. Like, it irritates me that I can't let myself get to this point where, like, you just don't exist. Fuck you. Fuck your whole lineage for bringing you into this earth plane and crossing my path. Like, you can't even go there. It's just this, like, oh, God, God. And that's all you can really do. That's probably more of like a soul-based connection where at some point there needs to be some level of connectivity, but it just irritates you because it's like, why don't I get a say in this? What about me and what I want? And there's none of that. Yo, this is making my third eye drain like a mofo. I feel it like dripping down the back of my throat. We're just gonna have to do this like this. So it's like a sense of, on some level, whatever that is, it's not done. It's not done. It's not that you want that to not be done. It's just, that shit ain't done. At any given moment, your paths could cross yet again. And now you don't know what the fuck's going to happen here because you couldn't control the outcome the first time. What the hell makes me think I can control it the second time? Uh, and all these little, like, oh, I definitely DGAF. I do. You don't want snot dripping down into my mouth. I will just leave it like that. All right, so that's the first house. I mean, if you're not already impressed with my logic, I'm not going to impress you with like my tissue. I'm just saying. Card number 27, third house, messages. You must stay drunk on writing so reality cannot destroy you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Words have power. Now's the time to get your point across. With this card, you may also get a clear direction in the way to proceed. The third house also represents neighborhoods and siblings. This is like a soul sibling type of connection. Okay. Soul sibling type of connection. Um, uh, this is some twin flame shit. Okay. You're in search of answers and in need of unlocking mysteries, but your mind is agile and you're able to grasp every detail right now. You may wish to express this mental suppleness through writing, speaking, and researching subject matter that has always intrigued you. Libraries call to you. So, Pisces. Whoa, that's a deep ass message. It's this feeling of you need to tap into the library of your soul. Like, ooh, okay. Um, I got, hold on. It's like hypno something. Hold up. I got to tell you guys about someone. Hypno. Um, hypno method. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the comments. This is a link to a hypnosis therapist who is like, um, you have to tap into the library of your soul. There are details in whatever this connection is, this connectivity. It's caused quite a bit of friction through many, many lifetimes. And it needs to be resolved, I guess, in this lifetime. I don't want to. Okay. Okay. This has to be resolved in this lifetime for those who are about to reach a higher level of consciousness. I'm getting anxiety really badly. Okay. You must stay drunk on writing so reality cannot destroy you. It's this sense of whatever is written within the records, whatever is written within your Akashic books. That's going to be playing out in this lifetime. It's going to be playing out in this lifetime. Nervous laughter. Nervous laughter. With that, okay, we're moving forward. That fucking deck sucks. Too much truth. Too much truth. But Ali from hypnomethod.com. Um, God, I cannot rave about him enough. I actually need to go purchase another session because I need to know how to avoid. No, he's not going to let me avoid. But it's a lot of stuff that comes up. He actually helped me to recognize there isn't as much animosity within that history as I think there is, or I thought there is. It helped me to kind of push forward within my own journey and grow in a way where there is space now being held open for further healing. Um, and that space that's being held open, it could potentially be like healing the distorted perception of the human brain in regards to memory recall. because a lot of the stuff that I remember from previous lives with this person, because I remember quite a bit, it's like a lot of like conflict. We always arguing. We're always arguing. We're always in some sort of like weird ass position with each other. But at the same time, like seeing it from a neutral perspective, if you were to go to someone who has their integrity intact, and that's what I love about Ali. His integrity is intact. He doesn't sugarcoat shit. He's not going to be mean, but he's very skilled in what he does. And it helped me to really realize a lot of the the snippets that I recall, I don't go further than that. And if I were to have gone further than the snippets, I would totally see that all the actions, the decisions, all of those things on their end, it's very, very deeply based in a profound love, like protection and all of that beautiful stuff. So the fact is, the human brain doesn't allow you to go past things that trigger trauma. It won't. It will try and protect you. So then you shut it down. And the job of a very skilled hypnotist is really not to like, do what they show on TV. That's just all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They're to guide you through your own process. They're just assisting and helping to bring you back to neutral. Whenever I would get riled up, because I've had sessions with Ali already, whenever I would get riled up and be like, I fucking hate him. He's like, well, no, no, no. Why are we saying this? Because I do. No, you don't. And apparently I don't. I don't actually hate anyone. It's just me protecting myself. My human brain is trying to protect myself because it's triggering a lot of things that really karmic bleed over into the current life. It will give you a very, very intense triggering. Whenever something in your life triggers karmic bleed over, something that's based in karmic bleed over, meaning it's from a previous life, it creates ridiculous amounts of anxiety, fear, like all of these things. All of these things. So, card number 2, transform the way you see. You have to see yourself and your connections differently at this point. Pisces and empaths, you have been looking through dirty glasses, okay? The lenses from which you view your life and your place in other people's lives, it's a very, very filthy lens. And that filth is from other people handling the glasses, okay? Because they keep trying to shift your attention here, shift your attention there, when in reality, you should just be looking ahead of you. Ahead of you, and the mirrors that stand in front of you help to reflect what's behind you. That's deep. That's deep. Because we'll have mirrors of parts of us, parts of our journey, stand before us at some point in our lives. They say that everyone who stands before you is mirroring something about you, about your history, about this, about that. And yeah, maybe they're mirroring parts of your history, the things that you've left behind, these aspects of you that really, if you still allow them to be fully present, these are the parts of you that create much more chaos and drama in response to just life circumstance, really, connections, things like that. Okay. And I find it important to note that the sessions that I've had with Ali, they weren't ever intended for twin flame stuff, twin race stuff. It was always just this like, I know I have certain mental blockages that still exist within me, and I need to identify the root causation of those blockages so that I can move forward and continue my process of ascension. It was always ever about me, my journey, how to make me more stable in my own spiritual foundation, all of those things. And that those topics happen to come up because that's what my soul brings up. Okay. So I don't want you guys to think that you're going to go to Ali and he's going to fix some twin flame stuff for you. No, if that's not what's prominent and what your higher self wants to talk about, he can't dictate what's going to be talked about. Okay? He can't. So, card number 14, let love grow. It's time for you to allow the love within your heart to expand. This expansion of love has more to do with wrapping yourself in a blanket of love, self love, self protection, self acknowledgement. Um, whatever process you need to go through to elevate your awareness of self. Okay. So, card number eight, everything in perfect balance. Balancing the petals with the thorns, it's a perfect ratio. Okay. The thorns are what protects the petals, the softness of the flower. When people mishandle you, they catch the thorns, and you should not be sorry about that. Doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. That's just a fact. Okay, that's not an opinion. That is a fact as I know it. You have to begin recognizing if you are a balanced Piscean, if you're an unbalanced Piscean, if your lack of balance is causing you to be unnecessarily mean. Recognize these things, hold yourself accountable. Also, recognize when you are a good person, when you have extreme levels of patience, when you have been patient upon patient upon patient, and people keep pushing you, whip their ass with the thorns. I'm sorry for being honest. And that's the thing. We have no problem identifying the places within us that hold pathology, disease. But the moment it's time for us to begin recognizing the places in which, yeah, no, I'm really patient, I'm very loving, I'm very supportive, it's hard for us to recognize that part of us. It's hard for us to acknowledge the good aspects. If you can't acknowledge the good within you, what you will draw to you in energy will be the parts that cannot acknowledge, accept, appreciate these beautiful aspects of you. And then you begin to wonder, like, why do people only use me? Why do people only treat me this way or that way? Well, they're a reflection of how you're treating yourself. And this is not about blame. This is not about it's your fault. This is about, hey, baby, you are this powerful. You have the power to bring to you the very things that you need to grow. And I think in this moment, you're needing to see how you're treating yourself by witnessing and experiencing firsthand that poor treatment from other people. If it's not okay for other people to treat you that way, it's not okay for you to treat yourself that way. Well, it's okay. It's not a big deal if people do this to me. Okay, would you do that to someone else? Hmm? Because if not, then it's not okay for someone else to do that to you. The laws of reciprocity, reciprocal reflection. You are reflecting and projecting. You are sending back out what is being given to you, and you are sending out what you want to be given. It's just one of those things. Treat yourself with the same level of respect and dignity that you choose to give everyone else. And if you're an unbalanced Pisces, unbalanced empath, and you have extreme levels of toxicity within you, recognize that so you can heal yourself. You are the greatest, most powerful healer you will ever come across in this life. You have the ability to heal yourself in ways no one else does. Well, that's not true. I mean, oh, I beg to fucking differ. I beg to differ. I know people have struggled. Sorry. Alta just wished me happy birthday. Okay. I know people who have struggled either within themselves or their children or elderly parents who have struggled with failure to thrive. Do you know what that is? Let's define it, okay? What is failure to thrive? This is when let's see. So for children diagnosed with failure to thrive when their weight or rate of weight gain is significantly below that of other children of similar age and sex. Infants or children that fail to thrive seem to be dramatically smaller or shorter than other children the same age. Um, how long can you live with failure to thrive? Adult failure to thrive is associated with multiple underlying conditions. The hospice principle diagnosis should list the diagnosis that most contributes to a life expectancy of 6 months or less. This is basically saying the doctors don't know what's wrong. There's no reason for you to continue to decline in health. And if this continues, you are going to die. That's what that means. Failure to thrive is a lack of wanting to live. Why is that? Something has made you feel like it's not worth being here anymore. Something has hurt you so deeply that this place is so unsafe that it's a much easier thing to accept an unknown like death than continue to stay here in this misery. With failure to thrive, no matter who your specialist is, no matter how many nurses and doctors are on your team, whether you have, in-home support and all, you're not going to continue because you're not giving permission to continue. You are that powerful. You are that powerful. I hadn't seen my mother for quite a few years. And when I came back, uh, she had been diagnosed with failure to thrive. She was probably about 80 pounds, literally skeleton, in bed, could not move anymore. And honestly, I came back because I was told by soul she had only a few days left to live. And when I reconnected with her, she wanted to stay, and she stayed longer. She put on weight. She regained muscle mass. She regained quite a bit of her abilities to move her legs, to sit up. She couldn't sit up before. To sit in a chair, to bend her knees at a 90-degree angle. Like all of these things that we take for granted, she had to fight to regain that because she wanted it. She wanted it. And the doctors and all the staff were like, what the hell? How is she recovering? I've never seen someone recover to this degree, because you can't kill someone without them wanting to die. Not when it comes to failure to thrive. You can be your greatest healer or your biggest blockage to health. It all depends on what you want. There was nothing that I did. I was not allowed to do energy work on her. That was one of the things. I'm only here to spend as much time as you want to spend with me until it's time for you to go. That was the only thing. That was my only intent. She did all of that. Yes, I supported her in what she was doing. Yes, I supported her physical body as we were doing physical therapy. But if she didn't want to do it, it wasn't going to happen. So if you don't want to do it, it's not going to happen. If you want to heal, if you want to move past certain circumstance, if you want to go beyond certain levels, depths of pain, it won't happen unless you allow it. There's not someone who's going to do some miraculous session and suddenly that's going to be gone. It's just like spontaneous healing. There's nothing spontaneous in life. Mhm. Card number 16, what you want wants you. If you want misery, negativity, all of that, it wants you too. Now, if you want healing, empowerment, a rebalancing of your life and your perception, that wants you too. And you have to be willing to go through whatever process you're going to go through to get to that next level of consciousness. There's no ski lift that you're going to take to the top of the mountain. There's just not when it comes to spirituality. And that's part of the reason why I have such aversion to the types of personalities that try and promote, like, oh, I could do this, this, and this for you. Miraculous healing. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not without their permission. So if you can only do something based on the level of permission you're granted by the individual, that does not make you a powerful healer. That makes you their assistant, their facilitator. And if they're just a facilitator, what does that make you? The big boss. It makes you the actual healer, the head shaman, whatever you want to call yourself. That's what you are for yourself. So allow that process. So, card number 5, follow your own rhythm. It's time for you to dance through these events of your life, swaying to the left, swaying to the right, allowing the bullshit to just miss you. Just don't allow anyone else's toxicity to induce more toxicity within yourself. Allow your energy and your focus to be what helps to clear away your own toxicity, what already exists within you. Card number 1, after the storm. So there's going to be a storm. This storm is going to help terraform your mind, the landscape of your mind. Um, it's a sense that many Pisceans, especially those who are ready to heal beyond a certain degree, many Pisceans are being prepared to experience quite a bit of trauma induced accretion. Typically, Pisceans and empaths, the fastest way to accrete high frequencies, much higher than what we're accustomed to. The fastest, most efficient way to do that is through a trauma based response. Something you witness, something that's done to you, it's traumatizing you, which causes the initiation of a specific type of process. And this process would be the equivalent of an adrenaline rush. Okay. So, with that adrenaline rush, it's a frequency. It's not actual adrenaline, it's frequency. And, Pisceans have a tendency to experience life in a much more intense way. It could be something that other people feel like is no big deal, but to a Piscean, to an empath, oh my God, it's such a big deal. It is such a big deal. And as you experience that and really allow yourself to be fully present in that truth, the truth of that moment, you then increase your potentiality of accreting extremely high frequencies. And you need frequency accretion in order to level up. In order to jump to the next level, you have to accrete enough frequency to form the key pass that gives you access to the higher level. The fact is this: dimensions are separated by an energetic membrane. Okay. So within one harmonic universe is 3 dimensions. These are subsets within that harmonic universe. In order for you to bump up, say, dimension 1, 2, and 3 is harmonic universe 1, dimensions 4, 5, and 6, harmonic universe 2, harmonic universe 3 is 7, 8, 9. There you go, right? Say you're at dimensional level 3 and you need to get to 4. You have to cross a magnetic repulsion zone. You need a key pass for that. You can't bump up to 4th dimension if you don't have that key pass. It locks you out. It's a phase lock. And so what ends up happening is that the traumas that you experience in life pulls in frequency until you reach enough that you have the key to unlock that magnetic repulsion zone, and you can jump to that next level. Unless, of course, you're in my Kokoro program and you know how to do this. You don't need no keys. So, anyways, card number 11, Metamorphosis. Power and strength lie within our surrender to change. Allow yourself to change. Okay. Allow yourself to change. Allow whatever process you're in that is changing the way you see the world, the way you see yourself. Allow that to do its job. The more you resist, the more you fight it, you are only fighting yourself. In a match of Emmie versus Emmie will always lose. Okay? Emmie versus Emmie will always lose, because whether Emmie on the left wins or Emmie on the right wins, there will always be a loser named Emmie. Card number 27, renewal. Regeneration begins with decay. Ooh, oh my God, that's so fucking deep. Okay. Regeneration begins with decay. If you feel like everything in your life is rotting right now, your connections, relationships, opportunities, your job, your living dance. Everything is just rotting. Regeneration begins with decay. Okay. You're definitely needing to be reminded that metamorphosis, the first thing people usually think of when the term transformation or metamorphosis is presented, we think of a butterfly. That's like the most common analogy when it comes to metamorphosis. Okay. What many of us fail to realize is when that caterpillar is ready to become a butterfly, it's not some graceful process. They confine themselves, self isolation. If you have found yourself isolated from all your friends, all your family, not isolated because someone toxic and abusive is isolating you, but when you just randomly find yourself alone, you're probably in a chrysalis at that point. And what usually ends up happening, what I've read, is that in order for the caterpillar to become a butterfly, they liquefy themselves. Mm, yeah, they become some goop or something. I don't know. It's pretty gross. And then after a period, they reform themselves. There is richness in the decay. Regeneration begins with decay. This is the start of the process of your rebirth. Okay? This is the start of the process. Allow yourself to be reborn into a more accurate expression of your actual truth, of your actual authenticity. Okay? I'm not talking about manufactured authenticity. Authenticity is such a soup de jour. You'll have plenty of spiritual people, I'm using that term lightly, loosely. Yeah. Spiritual people who, they talk about authenticity, but are they really showing who they are? Or are they simply showcasing their brand? Which one is it? Which one? Because there's two types of brands. One type of brand, you know, flash in the pan. They follow the trends. If they don't follow the trend soon enough, there will be others who are following that new trend and will get established first. So they're really a flash in the pan. Um, they get recognition quickly and they disappear just as quickly. In the music industry, these people have a tendency to be called like one hit wonders. Right. And then there's this other type of brand, which is an authentic brand. It's about quality. It's about um, strength through growth. It's about the way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself, and that being what you're recognized for. And because of the quality of that, your integrity, then you begin to establish a reputation. And then people seek you out for that. You have longevity then. That's a long term thing. It's not some flash in the pan. You're not following some trend. You are setting the trends. You are now trailblazing. You're the one that's out in front, cutting down the logs and all of that, the trees, the vines, whatever it is, to clear a path for the people who follow you. Are you doing it for the people who follow you? Or are you clearing the path for yourself and there just happens to be people who are following after you? So with that, you have to decide, are you going to be a follower? Are you going to be a flash in the pan? Are you going to be a one-hit wonder? Or are you here for the long term? Are you here to really, really grow yourself with no real expectations in regards to who will be there with you the entire time, how this journey will kind of unfold? I mean, you ask anyone who's caught some traction on some sort of social media platform, you ask any of these really huge, huge followings, um, ask them, how did you do that? How? Tell me, how did you do it? I saw this video recently. I forget her name. She's adorable, like in an annoying way, but she's fucking adorable. There's just something so like it draws you in. It's some girl on YouTube, and she's talking about she hit the lottery. I was like, oh, what's this? And I started watching it, and what she's talking about, she hit the lottery. She kept putting herself out there on social media, and more and more and more uh, people noticed and they stayed because it wasn't a flash in the pan thing. She always felt like she would be recognized in some way, but she didn't know how it would play out. And she even went so far as to share, at one point in her adult life, she only had $10 to her name. And she was working so hard, so many different jobs. And it's just this thing of allowing your dream to morph into what the true expression of that dream is, how your life and your soul are bringing this dream into your life. In reality, it wasn't a dream. It was this intangible thing that she didn't quite know yet, like what this is, but she could feel it. She was aware of it. She couldn't quite put into words what she was aware of, but she was. She's definitely aware. And she recognizes it's not something that it's not something that turned her into someone else. It just made it so much easier for her to be more of who she actually is. And then I was just like, I think I should probably subscribe to you. I've seen, quite a few of her videos. Maybe like, I don't know. I think it's still in the single digits. I don't know, maybe like 5 or so of her videos. And um, you could just feel the authenticity with her. And she's not trying to impress anybody. She just kind of is who she is. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a very beautiful thing to witness. Be that person. Be that person who draws people because that's just who you are. You are a lighthouse providing little blips of light in a place so devoid of it. You don't have to be anything outside of who you actually are. And part of your getting to this knowing of who you are has to do with recognition of things from the past, previous life things. Past life bleed over is a very real thing. Very, very real thing. So, okay, example. How is past life bleed over a real thing? Like, what do you mean? Well, a really, really old life. I remember my twin Ray. I was his wife. And it was like old Roman times. And polygamy was okay. And it was fine because he had quite a few lovers, which is fine. But he didn't like the fact that there was one particular person that I enjoyed a little too much. And I actually fell in love with that person. And I was going to run away with that person. And he found out. So he murdered him. He murdered him. And I found the body. I found the body. And I saw my entire spiritual team standing over my lover's dead body. And I was like, I never want to see any of you again. I don't ever want to see you. I don't ever want to hear you. Don't ever talk to me again. And since that life, I don't speak to anyone but Michael. It's the only one I allow myself to hear. He's the only one I allow myself to feel because he wasn't there. He was standing behind me, trying to keep me from looking. And I'm sure that if he was there with that team standing over that body, I'd block him out too. And this is the first life where I've remembered that. The first life where I remembered that. So, for many of us, this is the life, this is the time where a lot of that previous life is coming forward to finally be healed, to finally be allowed to, be laid to rest and really just quiet down the pain of that. Not to ignore it, but to kind of quiet it down just a little bit so we can actually understand what's being said. Have you ever been so upset, crying hysterically and trying to communicate something, but you couldn't? They couldn't understand what you were saying because you were crying too hard. And you have to kind of quiet it down a little bit. Not because no one wants to hear you, but because we need to be able to understand what is going on so that we can better know how to help. It's just like that. It's definitely just like that. So card number 21, key to intimacy. Initiate love. Oh, intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. Mhm. Love is not what humans tell us love is. Love is not just the positive. It's not just, you guys know what the concept of love is. Why don't you go ahead and share with me what you believe love to be defined as? Between a mother and child, the perfect kind of relationship between a mother and child, between best friends who are also lovers. And, the most powerful love I've ever experienced in this life is quite possibly the love from my husband, because he can call it out as it is. Like, he can really tell me, like, you're being so fucking obnoxious right now. And then I'll look at him and he'll be like, it's true. I really love you, but your behavior fucking sucks and you need to stop. And I'm like, and he's like, do you want a hug? Do you want a hug? You want me to help you calm down? Love is not about constantly enabling the most atrophied, toxic behaviors that we have. Some people think that that's what love is, and it's not. You know what makes me a really good friend? Like, you can get into it with someone, I will back you up 100%. Fuck that bitch, let's take her fucking ass. I'll pick you up, girl. What time? What time we doing this? And then privately between us, what the fuck's your problem? Why are you starting shit? You know you're wrong, right? You know you're wrong in that, right? Like, we had to do what we had to do to back your ass up. But fuck, you're wrong in that. You are fucking wrong. That's real love. That's real love. Like, at one point, probably not now. I would probably be the friend that's sitting in that jail cell with you in fucking trouble right along with you because I got you. But while we're there sitting, waiting for someone to bail us out, I'm like, you're fucking stupid. I cannot believe you got us into this shit. I cannot believe you got us into this. Real love can tell you the truth. Real love can help you recognize the places within you that still need more love. And that's powerful. To be able to contribute to someone's growth in that way, where you can help them to recognize the parts that really, really need love, because those are the parts that encourage them to behave in a more toxic manner. That's powerful. That's real love. So you have to move forward. You have to allow this. It's almost like an activation. It's a rise in your level of consciousness. This is a period where this is going to be, um, slated for quite a few empaths and PiSCES. Now, free spirit, you have to allow the truth of your power to be the very wind beneath your wings. And, everything as you know it to be is going to burn down. When you go through this process, it's really like a trial by fire, a baptism in the flames, burning away all the things that no longer serve you and your growth, that are no longer in alignment with where you are heading. You could be loyal to people and ignore the fact that they don't either have the capability or the desire to go further with you, or you can be loyal to yourself in your process. And in that, loving people in such a way that sets them free to travel on their own journeys. And who knows, maybe a few years from now, the two of you will cross paths again and you'll be in a different place. They'll be in a different place. And the places both of you occupy in that future time are once again aligned. True love sets you free. It doesn't hold on to you. It doesn't force compliance. It doesn't ask you to weigh yourself down so that you don't rise beyond where they can follow. True love is the most freeing, empowering thing. It's not asking to be someone that they aren't. Okay, so how do you know you have true love with your husband, Emmie? Well, because he sees that I'm a runner and he's never asked me to stop running. Instead, he's put on his running shoes and just kept running with me. He's never demanded we stop running. He's never demanded we make a turn. He just runs right along with me. Not following behind me, running beside me. No guilt, no shame, no none of that involved. Just running, just running. And he's allowed me to run for so long that my desire to fight, the amount of energy that I allocated to fight and resist, and that's all just burned up. That's all burned up. I mean, I don't even know that I'm running now. It's more like trot. I'm just trotting. And now it's not like I'm trotting, he's just quiet. I'm like, where do we go now? I'm tired. He's like, we can stop, or we can make a left, or we can make a right. I mean, that's a beautiful way to love someone. Very, very beautiful way to love someone. A very healing way where you're not telling someone how to heal. Instead, you're like, hey, you figure it out. I'm going to hold space for us. And I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit here. You figure out what you need. Let me know if you need something, if I can help. But I'm just going to be here, just quietly here. That's fucking beautiful. That's a type of love that Pisceans and empaths really, really need at this point. Be like water. Allow yourself to flow through your journey. Knowledge. Allow your knowledge to change and transform into wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge turned into action, right? So 33 and 5, allow yourself to return to a state of mastery, mastery of your own energy and your own journey. And then 5, the number of change, allowing that knowledge to change, transform into wisdom. Ooh, okay. Card number 32, the moon. You are one component away from that mastery of self. 32 is right before 33, and 33 is a number of the ascended. Yeah. So 32, you're a one component away, and that component, it's what's hidden. It's what you've hidden from yourself. 32, the moon. The moon often represents what's hidden, what we hide from ourselves, what we hide from other people. It's the parts of us. It's that like feminine, creative energy. It's the darkness, all of that. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Ooh. The moon represents the female essence of nature. The goddess of the moon holds a hair, an emblem of longevity. So it could mean deception, twilight, obscurity, intuition, disillusionment, danger, bad influence, ulterior motives, false friends. Are you being a false friend to yourself? I kind of feel like this moon card has more to do with you and what you're doing and hiding from yourself than it has to do with someone else. And sometimes when we do this to ourselves, we can't help but draw the people who are willing to do this to us. Does it make sense? So, for a period, I was sitting there existing in a way where I kept betraying myself. I kept ignoring my intuition. And in that, people were brought to me to help me learn the value of what my intuition is telling me, that my intuition never lies to me. Whether I want to believe it or not, whether it's difficult to believe it, whether this, whether that, um, that bitch always tell me the truth. It always tells me the truth. At no point has it ever lied to me. No matter how difficult that truth was to express to me, no matter how much I struggled with acceptance of that truth, it's never lied to me, ever, ever. Like every person that I meet, immediately my intuition, if it's someone that's super important in my journey, a super important part of my growth process, they're going to contribute something to my growth. My intuition will tell me. And because I'm averse to my own growth, 95% at 923, these are the people that take me forever, forever to allow myself to connect to. It's true. I hold y'all at a distance. Like, you're going to do something. You're going to hurt my feelings. I got to keep you away for now. And it's always those people after years. I'm like, okay, okay. Maybe they're okay. And then I recognize, oh my God, you're so important. You're such an important part of my growth. I can't believe I continue to be silly and convince myself that, you're going to hurt me, when in reality, the reason I fear you is because you represent so much growth. Where'd you come from? You're what? Oh, did you go outside? Did you go outside? Did you go to the snow? Did you go to the snow? Okay, I'm live, dude. I'm live. Okay, solitariness, desert. How long have you kept yourself in the desert of your heart? And maybe that's why we're being told about the water. This is about the recognition of water juxtaposed with a dry desert. 13 and 33. 13 is that female energy, that feminine, divine energy. And sometimes, because of the way the world has taught us, how many women, let's really get a good idea here. How many women feel like they can't trust other women and they can't hang out with them? They don't have any female friends because women are shady and this and that. How many of us? All my friends are guys because women are so shady. They're so drama. Like, I can't hang out with other women. I mean, I used to be like that. I used to, really, for a very, very long time. All my friends are guys because I just really don't know how to relate to other women. I don't know how to relate to other women. It's fucking weird to me. Um, when I like healed certain parts of myself, when I went through these processes that were so painful and it led to like an elevated type of healing, right now, the very, very small amount of people that I consider like friend to the point of family, the ones that I really, really, really cherish, they're all women. They are all women. As I began to heal the feminine within me and rebalance the masculine, I lost my fear of other women. Why do we allow society to brainwash us into believing all women are toxic? That's part of the toxic patriarchal program that dethroned the goddess and brought about so much suffering on this earth. Let's take this even further, okay? The number 13 represents the moon, lunar cycles, females, moon time, all of that. 13 represents that, right? That's evil. 13 is witchery, evil. Well, okay, why do we say witches are evil, but we got nothing to say about warlocks? Warlocks are male witches. Why is that? We can say all kind of shit about witches, but no peep about warlocks. Okay, let's take an even step further. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the Vikings. Sexy Vikings. I swear, Vikings hold a spot in my heart like no other. Vikings, yes. Vikings. Um, like I've seen a whole bunch of stuff coming out recently. Modern society thinks Vikings are like, "Ugh," they're barbarians and ooh, yeah. No, I heard somewhere that Vikings had really good hygiene. And the reason the Anglo Saxons really vilify the Vikings were because their women were more attracted to these very, very hygienic Viking men. In addition to that, the Vikings really, really uplifted the feminine. They thought, they let the women, I don't know how accurate this is, but they let the women be in charge of the money and the household because they believed women to be super connected to divinity and magical creatures. Magical. I mean, my husband's a tropical Viking. I love it. Growth, plants. Your growth will continue so long as your roots are healthy. Okay? The truth of the plant is in the roots. If you allow your roots to be very, very healthy, The plant, no matter what happens, even if it gets trampled by the gossip and the bullshit of life, the roots are fine, the plant will grow back. Okay. So, card number 14, the soul, passion. Allow yourself to see the world with a newfound passion, a newfound zest. Okay. Be zesty, be full of zest. All right. I got to get going. Okay. This is a lot of cards, yo. Okay. Card number 9, brown bear spirit. Take time out. I think this is kind of like this indicator that you probably going to need to take time out, either by choice or by force. Um, I don't know. It feels like things are kind of coming to a head. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's in reference to, but it's a feeling of things coming to a head. Um, Usually when something comes to a head, it's right before an explosion, an extraction. Um, I can't help but feel as though the statements I'm making go beyond that of Pisceans and empaths' personal journeys. I can't help but feel that has something to do with a collective whole in this experience on this earth plane. 99% at 9:30, 99930. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, card number 39, moth spirit, surrender now. Let go of the need to control whatever it is you think you need to control. Because I promise you that control, no matter what your intent is, whether your intention is good and honorable and pure, based in love, no matter what it is, control is a behavior of the parasites. Who do we think we are? Having this belief that I know better than you. Let me control your life. Well, because I can see things in advance and let me control your life. Well, no matter what you're able to see in advance, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. If there is a shift in perception, the trajectory of those events are shifted as well. And if there is more than 1 degree of shift, there's a potential that whatever you saw in advance is now negated. It's null and void. It's not going to happen anymore. So we do not know more than other people regarding their own journeys. We just don't. We have to stop allowing ourselves to continue looking for people projects. Y'all know what that is. Were you looking for someone to save? Mhm. Just because you see their potentiality does not mean they're obligated to tap into that in this lifetime. But it does mean that you're probably using them as an excuse to keep from working on yourself. I have found that the people that I often select for people projects in the past, when I used to like really participate in this without realizing, the people that I would help, um, they were expressions of the things that were going wrong within me. They were reflections of that. Okay, I'm having a problem with self confidence. Let me find someone who has a problem with self confidence and really, really assist them and make them confident within themselves, yet failing to recognize they're a reflection of me and therefore I need to work on myself. 99% at 9:33. Have you recognized that you need to work on yourself? So, card number 36, koi fish spirit, there's always enough. There's always enough within you. There's always enough within creation. We don't have to fight. We don't have to beg. We do have to be fully present. Being fully present in your life is what will help you to shine. Card number 46, peacock spirit, shine. Allowing your voice to be heard by whoever needs to hear it. Just shining in whatever way you can. Not because you're trying to, but because you're now getting out of your own way. You're no longer hiding your shine or trying to extinguish your light to make cave dwellers comfortable. I'm just saying, if people are accustomed to existing in darkness, that's on them. At no point do you have to dim your shine to make them more comfortable. You're not here to perpetuate darkness. You are here to shine as an example. Okay. And it's not that light is better than dark. It's that there's enough dark in this world. We need to rebalance by reintroducing more light, and not false light, not artificial light, manufactured light. I'm talking about real light. Real light comes from your truth. Okay. Um, oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful to recognize that and be at, the midpoint of life, and now able to be free to just truly live. That's beautiful, roster. Card number 16, trust in divine detours. Your path may not always go in the direction that you first plan, but it always goes in the way that you need, the way of least resistance. Okay. Card number 31, time to let go. Again, this is about control. Okay. This is about control. Let go of the need to control. Card number 6, control yourself too. Not just other people, but control yourself, where you're so committed to a specific outcome that you fail to realize that outcome is no longer part of your potential because something even greater has come along. Ooh, card number 63, nothing is wasted. Nothing, not even the effort you put into things that fail. That's not wasted. That's practice. That's practice. That's a way to acclimate you. I've had several businesses before this one, and they were successful in their own right. Those several businesses could have went really, really far, but I stopped it. I shut down those businesses right as it was starting. Why? Because up until I began this business, things are very, very big. And I didn't want to be recognized. I didn't want to have financial security. Why is that? Because I'm a saboteur? No. I mean, it can be classified, categorized as self sabotage, but it's not because I'm that. It's because I had this fear that if I have money of any kind, it's going to change me. It's going to make me evil. It's going to make me selfish and greedy. The fact is, the people who are so afraid of that are the last people who will be that. Just like the people who are so afraid of learning energy work because they don't want to accidentally hurt someone. Um, you're the last person that's going to hurt someone. You are the last. You're so fucking obsessed with not hurting anyone. What makes you think that you were ever going to allow that? And I can say that because that was a fear that I had as well. This is the very reason why, in order for you to work with me, you had to know someone that I worked with personally, and you had to know them really well because they had to vouch for you. You could never share my name with anybody. You could never share what I actually did for you. You can share what your experience is, but leave me and my existence out of it. Because why? Because I was afraid. What if I hurt you? What if, what if, what if I just trust my ability and my intent and my purpose? And then it furthered itself, that thought furthered itself into this realization of, it's not that I don't trust myself. It's that now I recognize this is going to really, really solidify what my actual purpose is. And if too many people talk about it, I can't pretend that I'm normal. I can't hide from my own potential. I can't allow myself to continue to remain hidden under a rock when in reality, I'm supposed to be flying really, really high. What is that about? Is it a fear of harming others, or is it a fear of embracing your own potential and greatness? And then there you are, looking for other people, condemning others for not tapping into their potential that you recognize. Yet here you are, living in such a way that prevents other people from having the opportunity to recognize your potentiality, because heaven forbid, right? Heaven forbid. Listen to your heart. Silence all the chaos. Allow yourself to really, really hear what it is your soul is attempting to communicate. These are very, very profound messages for this period. This is what's going to determine the ways in which you grow, the ways in which you are able to provide for yourself and your family. The world is about to change. Pisces and empaths, if you continue to participate in that belief system that tells you that if you use your gifts to create financial stability for yourself, somehow the problem in selfish and greedy and evil, you will suffer right along with those who continue to feed the draconian system we live within. You still have some time to shift how you will stabilize. If you depend on the system that currently exists to provide for you, I don't know what will happen. Okay. That sounds very negative because it feels very negative. It's a very, very, very negative thing that I'm feeling right now with that message coming through. What does that mean? I don't know because I don't want to know. I've learned that just because I can see doesn't mean I should. I've learned that sometimes, even when the message is this intense, maybe it's best for me and my heart to not know and just be fully present. Because if I do know and I see something that I can't actually stop, that I can't actually change, it just hurts my heart more. So maybe I just shouldn't know. And maybe I'll just respect that. So there's going to be changes, a lot of changes in the world. It's already begun. These changes are going to cause tremendous amounts of suffering on all sorts of different levels. Tremendous. So you have a choice right now. Are you going to invest in yourself? Are you going to invest in a way for you to provide for yourself in a changing environment? Well, how do I do this? I mean, well, you're aware you have gifts. The only people that come and listen to me are the people who are coming to a point of realization. They are not like other people. They aren't. Because the people who are like other people, they don't like the way I deliver messages. They don't like how truthful I am. They don't like being called out on their own shit. They take it as a very personal attack. I don't even know who's watching. How am I personally attacked? Do I know you? I don't. How can I be personally attacking you? It's not a personal attack. You're attacking yourself. That's what you're feeling. So, what are you guys going to do with this? Are you going to listen to your heart? I love that. Investing in myself this year as I have never done before. Mm, I love that. I love that. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Create opportunities for yourself. Forget all of these messages of like, oh, are they coming back? I don't care if you come back. I'm interested in growing myself. My growth is not contingent on someone. It's contingent on me and my acceptance of my path. Now, after saying that, I do recognize there might be a few people who are a part of that growth process who maybe do need to be present at some point. And that's fine. That's fine. I've learned healthier boundaries now. I've gone through enough life experience to have grown myself in my perception of where my boundaries are, how to enforce those boundaries, why those boundaries exist. And whoever needs to come around, go ahead, come around. That's not a threat. That's a statement of, I know who I am. I know enough about me that I feel like I know who I am in this moment right now. And I'm going to always change. I'm going to become a person at different times. And it's not that I'm being fake, it's I'm growing. I'm growing. And maybe people will come back for a short period and initiate another intense cycle of profound growth. Maybe they come back for a lifetime. Maybe they come back as your best friend. Maybe they come back as your lover. Maybe they come back as your mortal enemy. Who really knows? Nobody. So instead of trying to control, trying to dictate, determine, whatever it is you want to call it, I'm just going to exist and be open to the different potentialities my soul presents me. I'm going to quiet the chaos, put that chaotic energy into a little storehouse for times when I need to give a massive fuck. Because really, someone had said earlier, she just doesn't give a fuck. Oh, I give plenty of fucks, just not about the unimportant things. People's perception of me, it's not really important to me. It's not because I don't care, it's because I recognize I can't control that. You will perceive me through whatever filters you currently use. And if your filters are filled, clogged with toxicity, with distorted views, with this perception that you need people to adhere to societal norms, then you're never going to see me clearly. You will not hear the words that come from me as truth. You'll hear it as some form of bullshit, and that's okay, because that's where you're at, not where I am. So, this is a period where you really, really, really need to begin deciding things for yourself. Um, with that, so, okay, in about a month, I'm going to be having 2 workshops. These 2 workshops, they can potentially give you an elevated ability to decide things for yourself and shift the trajectory of your journey. Limited seating. I like to keep the workshops pretty small, okay? It's an online workshop. With that, the intuitive ontogenesis, that's teaching you how to tap into your intuition at the level that I operate at. Okay. When I teach classes, I'm not holding back punches. For those of you who have taken any of my workshops, you know this. Oftentimes, when people join me for workshops or classes, by the end of that workshop or class, you're feeling dizzy because you're experiencing energy at levels you've probably not accustomed to yet. Okay. And then the second workshop is a soul based business workshop. With that, I'm sharing my journey to stability. Okay. I started my business with pretty much zero startup. Yeah. And I still pretty much have zero overhead. All I need is my laptop and Wi Fi. Ain't that some shit? Laptop and Wi Fi. I can travel as much as I want. I can go to whatever place I want. Hell, this soul based business of mine has made it possible for me to take care of very, very sick family full time and still be able to provide for my family, our financial needs. Now, I can't promise that will happen for everyone. But what I do know is this: when you realign your soul and yourself, when you realign those things and become fully aligned with your purpose, regardless of whether you know what it is or not, abundance has a tendency to flow really, really quickly. Really, really quickly. For real. And, I don't know what your abundance is. I don't know how much financial. I don't know what portion of that abundance is like emotional support, love, encouragement. Abundance is more than money. It's more than money. Now that I've aligned myself fully between my purpose and myself, my abundance has come in with you guys. Like to see so many people who understand and actually see me, not just hear the novelty of my words and like, oh, she's funny, and oh, she says weird things. Ooh. But to actually see where, like, I don't have to say it, but you recognize I'm in some kind of process right now. I'm struggling through life right now. And you're just like, hey, we're holding space. Hey, this is sacred. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The largest part of my personal abundance is you guys. Okay, I'm not going to cry. Mm. It's a very beautiful and empowering thing to live your entire life with everyone thinking you're weird. You're too intense, you're too weird, you talk about scary things. No one wants to be around you because they don't understand you, and you can't help but become intense. And so, because everyone just kind of steers clear, when you start to be your authentic self, you've learned to just be silent. So silent that you don't know the sound of your own voice. It's nice to have financial freedom and stability, but the greatest wealth that I've received by aligning myself with my soul, with my purpose, is to be surrounded by a tribe of people who, whether you understand me or not, you accept me as I am, that you celebrate and honor my differences, and that for some reason, me just being me somehow empowers you. There's just something beyond magical, healing, and empowering about that. Where if you're one of those people that, you can't help but look for some sort of validation outside of yourself because you can't quite accept whatever validation and confirmation your soul gives you through signs and synchronicity, to have all these random random people who continuously choose to show up whenever you show up, and who hold space when you kind of retract yourself and go deeper within yourself and get real quiet. You can't buy that. You can't buy that. You can't coerce that. You can't, none of that. That's something you have to earn through sharing vulnerability, moments of vulnerability where you can finally accept that you are strong enough to handle however people receive you, because you've done it your whole life. You're silencing that chaos within you. Chaos magic is the most powerful magic. I used to be ashamed of how chaotic I am. I used to be so ashamed of it. I used to be so ashamed that it created symptomatic presentation of obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm still obsessive. I'm still compulsive, but it's no longer a disorder. Now it's just one of those things where, you know what? It kind of is what it is. I'm chaos. I'm chaotic, and that's powerful. If you're chaotic, why is it powerful? You're not organized, you're not this and that. How do you negate chaos? Have you ever tried to contain a tornado? Can you even plot the path that it's going to take? Can you negate it in some way? What element will you use to negate a tornado? Tell me. Hmm? You just got to let it run its course. You're not stopping it. Chaos magic is the most powerful magic ever. You do not know how I will react or respond. You do not know what levels I can rise to and what depths I can allow myself to be buried into. I'm a living wild card. Does that mean I'm better than you? It just means I'm different. And because I'm different, you cannot anticipate my next move. And if you cannot anticipate my next move, you cannot successfully silence or stop me as I travel my path. Quiet the chaos within you. Not because you're ashamed of it, but because you need to learn to save that for moments where it's needed. It's not needed every single moment of every single day. There will be people who will be allowed to test your level of control and discipline when it comes to your chaotic energy. Let them do their part, let them test you, but don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for the tricks. Just focus on your growth. Sometimes you'll need to respond, sometimes, oftentimes, you don't. Oftentimes, you kind of need to just Go on, dust your shoulders off. I'm just saying. All right, guys. I need to go. I need to go. I have to start sessions and stuff. And I also need to finish moving in. I'm just saying. Look at this. Starting to dread. Oh my god, when you're shit. I mean, I, yeah, just hide it in there. Hey. All right, I gotta go. Love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If you're ready to invest in yourself and start your own soul based business, if you're ready to grow your intuition, check out my intuitive ontogenesis program, my workshop, as well as my soul based business workshop. There is a potential for combining the two workshops and the soul based business listing. That's on my website, emmieevolving.com. It's on the homepage. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.